Hey guys, welcome back to Hogwarts Park, and thank you so much for voting. Well, okay. Technically, it's Monday. You only had one day so far, but the overwhelming 77% that have voted for leaving this like that, I don't think they're going to be swayed, but it's a risk for me to continue building in this file, but that is a risk I'm willing to take because I will be gone next week, not gone from the earth, but I won't be home. So I need to pre-produce some stuff so you don't have to again, wait 2 weeks for the next episode. I hope this won't happen. So today, I'm doing the Phoenix thing for the Gryffindors as a speed build. And I think I have ideas for the Slytherin House Mascot habitat. And that will probably be what you can expect from next week. So let's go. I hope you won't mind that this speed build and the next one are just quick and dirty, not what you're used to. Like, I used to cut out all the looking, staring, camera, swirling, scrolling and all of that stuff to just keep it tight and not too confusing. I find that once you've accelerated the footage to a certain speed, it gets confusing, and I don't like that. But I don't have time to put in the usual effort. So I hope you won't mind that this is the quick and dirty thing. And, for a change, I'm just showing you the unedited, complete process. So what you saw me do is do some terrain editing, and you might remember that I wanted to put the Phoenix in an aviary, but I didn't like the outcome with the alchemy, so I decided against it. By the way, the reason I think I didn't like the alchemy thing is that the whole Unity Park thing put me into, let's just call it by its name, into a try-hard mode. And that led to, I put so much pressure on myself. And it took me a while to remind myself that I'm doing this actually for myself and to have fun. And that it is fun to share this fun, oh my God, with you guys. But, life is full of people and situations where things are expected from you, putting pressure on you. And this should really not be it. I finally found back to the state of mind I need to be in so I can just build and enjoy the process. I still wasn't quite in it yet, but that just led to me not liking the aviary thing. And I thank you again so much for helping me remembering what this is all about. It's about fun. So, you saw me and you see me right now, laying down the base for this exhibit, and I chose to make it mountainous because I wanted it to resemble, again, like Scottish Highlands. That is highly influenced by it's Hogwarts Legacy, the game. You guys maybe remember the second episode of this park build where I took you on a little field trip and I showed you one of those vivariums I have where the Phoenix is living, and it has this beautiful, Scottish flute music playing and the environment. I really liked that, and I remembered that Jurassic Canon King, who by the way is the silent hero of this build, because the whole Tri-Wizard tournament exhibit stuff was his idea, their idea, I should say. I stop it with the gender thing, and they said I should put a castle ruins somewhere on the mountains that are surrounding this whole park. And I put this on my list as a maybe. If the game doesn't crap out on me, I could still add that. But I figured I could really give this to the Phoenix, like have it live in like castle ruins. So I just randomly put in those Malta pieces with the towers and the walls to mimic a huge castle area. And I think that turned out pretty well. Also, I read that the phoenix, according to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, it's a pretty rare animal. I think only 2 or 3 people, like Fox, Dumbledore's phoenix was a rare exception. There's only 2 other phoenixes known to have been kept as a pet. One of them belonged to, I think, Dumbledore's great-grandfather or something, and another one is a team mascot for a Quidditch team. But apart from that, they don't live in captivity, and they're pretty rare. So I was like, okay, we need to give it privacy. So let's surround it by these mountains, because I didn't want to do what I did the last 3 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. Because somehow, for some reason, I got stuck on this Snallygaster thing that I did for the Pyroraptor, which is this overgrown forest, very secluded thing. And you get a glimpse into this very secret life that these animals are leading there, because they're very shy. And I suppose this is also true for the phoenix, you know, with it being so rare and not being kept in captivity. But I became aware of the fact that this is what I did with the JWE2, you know, the overgrown jungle thing. And I didn't want to have this whole park to become into or to transform into an assembly of the same exhibit over and over again. So I thought, let's just not go with the overgrown thing, but with very mountainous, a bit barren, not really bare. You'll see I add a ton of trees later, but it doesn't feel like what I did with the Alchemy or the Snallygaster. And I think it's okay, because the Alchemy and the Snallygaster are relatives. Yeah, so right now I'm placing like this curtain of flags to add, for one, more privacy, but mainly to add more of the house colors. I felt the need to do that. I have trouble to do that with the Ravenclaw corner, because we only have one blue flag. Nothing like, yeah, we have the Biosin decorations that bring in the copper or bronze. I still don't know which one it is actually for the Ravenclaws, even though I am a Ravenclaw. Never mind. But yeah. But with the Gryffindor corner house thing, we have 2 different sets of yellow and red flags. So I just felt the need to put in, you know, some proud Gryffindor house colors, and at the same time add some privacy for the phoenix to this platform. Oh, and you probably saw the dying JWE2. I sort of gave up on them. You know, 1 or 2 of them always start to fly off of the area they should be in and start starving, because, and maybe this was a bit stupid of me, I gave them the trait of being hungry, you know, which increases or decreases the time span they have to feel hungry again, and it accelerates the rate of them starving. And I did this so they wouldn't have enough time to fly away from the owlery region that I wanted them to roam. And first I started to, you know, catch the runaways and put them back at the owlery. Then I switched to turning hunger off and on. And then I decided, okay, so you know what? I have a ton of them in there. It's just natural selection. Let them die. If they're too stupid to find a way to the feeder, I have enough of the feeders there. For some reason, they don't want to use the one that I placed extra near the big lake. They are stupid, let them die. So that's what I did, and, you know, just became witness of that incident, that 3 of them died at the same time. So right now I'm thinking about how I could turn this area next to the Phoenix habitat into somewhat of a common room situation. Because I kind of like the idea to have a common room-esque thing next to the house mascot exhibit. I'm going to turn the innovation center for the Ravenclaws into like the same thing. So I first started placing amenities and fiddle with the path. And then I remembered that, if you remember, I told you in the Owlery episode that I started to look up Celtic patterns to use as path art, path flair in this park. And I decided that, you know, the common room section would probably have like some sort of plaza with a lot of seating opportunities and gathering stuff. So I started browsing again and landed on the Celtic triskelion, which consists of these 3 spiraling swirls. And same as for like every Celtic pattern or symbol, we don't know what they stand for because they didn't write anything down. It's just guesswork. But we, the people, decided on that the triskelion embodies the sun or the way of life, like the trinity of body, mind, and soul, but also birth, life, and death. And especially the sun aspect and the birth, life, and death thing led to me deciding on this one because I think it really fits with the phoenix, who also is just a symbol of, well, eternal life, immortality, but it has these 3 stages of birth, life, and death. Like we all do. But after death, it starts over. We saw Fox on its burning day, as it's called. That's when it dies and is reborn from the ashes. So I decided on that. At first, I didn't quite know how to do it, but it turned out to be really easy and pretty chuffed that I managed to put it in this small space that I have there. I was like, oh my God, this is not going to fit, but let's try nonetheless. And it did. And that was when I started to feel it all come together. When this thing worked out, I was excited, still not over the try hard mode. Like literally, I overcame this mode with the next episode. And that was a great moment when it just clicked and it was just, you know what, stop trying and thinking so hard. Just try things, see where it leads you, and just go with the flow. But the result of this triskelion started to get me there, which is cool. And now I had sort of the base down, you know, I had like figured out where approximately everything was going to go, and it was time to do some detail work. Place a ton of rocks in the exhibit and create these rock faces, these cliff sides, always with the reference of Hogwarts Legacy in mind. And I tried to create interesting rock formations, and that's really me inside of my comfort zone. I love doing that. I could spend hours just placing rocks, as you know. So I actually don't know if I'm going to talk you through the whole process because I don't feel like I have that much to say. Right now we're still doing like the big rocks. I always start with them and try to use those to create my rock faces and then go back in later and add some detail. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm sort of building the view from the platform there, and later I'm going to switch it around, go into the viewing gallery and start working on making this look nice from the other side. But my main goal actually was to get this exhibit perimeter ready and closed so I could put in the animals. So I used invisible fencing just to, you know, get it closed off. Added trees. I decided on using the redwood trees because they remind me a lot of what I saw in Hogwarts Legacy. I even had individually placeable trees for your vivariums that look a lot like these redwood trees. And on the whole map, like in the Highland area, you have these trees that look very similar. So I decided that those would be the perfect tree choice. Combined with the usual forest brush, I added a ton of dead trees just to make it look like, you know, rough mountainous area where not everything survives. And yeah, then just went over to do detail stuff, lining the path, adding some vegetation, like detail vegetation, some flowers, not too many flowers. I don't even think I put flowers in the exhibit because, you know, I wanted it to look sparse and a little dry. So I used the other brush. And then I put individually placeable redwoods in, accompanied by like all the junipers and pine trees. I think they're all pine trees from Malta. Okay. At least they have the needles that look very pine-esque. And they too look a lot like the trees that you come across in Hogwarts Legacy. So I thought they fit. And they add some privacy too, because they give you this canopy overhanging shading effect. Oh my god, what is going on? German kids demonstrating what is happening now. Oh my god, it's a gang fight. Oh my god, it's football fans. Soccer, I should say. So everyone knows what I mean. This is exciting. Okay, they're gone. It was just this group of kids, like literal kids, maybe feeling a rush of hormones or something like that. Okay, whatever. What just happened? Am I still talking about what's happening here? Should I leave this in? What is going on? I need to... I'm so sorry. Anyhow, placing Malta trees, as you saw me do, and now I'm placing redwoods. I really think there's not much more to talk about. It's just adding detail. I think maybe I'm going to give you like a bit of a music overlay for this. Just one thing more I need to say about this exhibit is that at one point I added torches, not just the 3 torches that I have added pretty early on. Those were meant, I only wanted to put in 3 phoenixes, but it turns out I made a mistake with the pattern. It's the, I guess I haven't said that yet, but you already saw it. I used the Utahraptor and gave it this reddish skin because, you know, the phoenix is supposed to have red and golden feathers. And there really is no pattern that adds a ton of red without adding other colors like black or white. And I didn't think that fitting. So I decided on no pattern, except for I wanted to have one of them with a pilophylax pattern, I think, because it gives you these blue tips of the feathers, which sort of looks like fire, you know, the blue flames where it's really hot. So I thought this could be the male and the others could be the females. I wanted to have 3 of them. Made a mistake while breeding them. I thought I had 2 without pattern and 1 with the pilophylax. But then I added 6 and I need to get rid of some. I need to stop putting that many dinosaurs in my exhibits. Another JWE2 died. Wow. And now I'm adding a little bit of rockage to the water. What else can I say? I was talking about the torches. I'm so sorry. These kids really... that was really irritating. They threw me off. So, I was talking about torches, and there's really not much to say about them. Fire, it's kind of the obvious thing. I read in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them that the phoenix actually okay, Miri, gather your thoughts. Breathe for a second and then think. So, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them says there was an incident of someone having a badly hurt phoenix and engulfing them in fire sort of healed them. It has healing powers and it makes the phoenix even stronger. So I thought adding torches here and there would, for one, add detail, something interesting to look at. Maybe, you know, make it feel even a little bit magical, or I don't want to say ritualistic, but you know what I like, something eerie. Because why would there be these working torches in an abandoned Scottish castle? You know? That's something otherworldly a little bit. Plus, I mean, it's Hogwarts. Torches are kind of a thing there. And also, I think it would help, or I thought it would help, with selling the whole keeping phoenixes. Phoenix, what's the plural of that? I don't know. Keeping a phoenix in captivity idea, which is apparently, as I said, not something that is very common, to give them lots of fire sources so they would feel really safe. You know, this is sort of an energy boost for them. You know what I mean? So they would feel extra secure and really sheltered, and that this is really a safe and nice place for them to stay in. And now I think I really don't have anything more to tell you. Later I'm going to decorate the little triskelion I did with a garden and put benches in there, create like seating sections in front of the amenities. I'm going to move the entry building for the log viewing gallery that really is just there, so people would come there to create visibility. I'm going to move it to the platform so that people would actually go onto the platform, which is always something. It's always nice if you create these things and no one goes there. It's like it's a bit sad. And there was no necessity of this connection building being next to the shops. Would really make much more sense to put it where this platform is, so that's what I did. And I replaced the connection building like next to the shops with another connection building, but the Jurassic World one, which is in this park serving as, our fast travel system, the Flu Powder network. And I'm putting those in here and there just so, there's this transportation network. And it fit there because the other one was there before. So this space really was unused all of a sudden, and it made sense to put one there, like put something that connects you right away to the Gryffindor Common Room section. So that's what I did. And the rest sort of, I think, is self-explanatory. Nothing much for me to talk about. I hope you will accept my silence at the end. I'll just put music over the top. Please excuse the German soccer kids. And I hope you enjoyed this episode so far, and it won't lessen your enjoyment that I stop talking in a bit. Anyhow, I thank you for watching. Stay tuned until next week, where I'm doing the Slytherin Chamber of Secrets. And I have a feeling that this build will be a bit controversial, but I love it. I was struggling with that, but in the end, like when it clicked, I was unstoppable, and all of a sudden it just flowed out of me, and I think the result is pretty cool. I like it. So I hope you'll stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you for watching. Maybe leave me a like. By the way, this build took me a little more than 4 hours. So maybe, if you think I deserved it, maybe leave me a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet. And take care, stay inspired. Bye-bye.
Bye.